My best friend smiled at me and said, "You like kids, right? Help get rid of one for me." What do you mean get rid of one? I gasped. My best friend Audrey waved her hand around dismissively. I meant like distract Kit's little brother for me. Kurt was the new guy Audrey had been obsessing over since he moved here. And, honestly, I get it. He had that cool guitar guy vibe going on that made him look like he was a missing member of One Direction. And Audrey wasn't the only girl chasing after him. The thing was, no one could get close because of his 12-year-old brother Joey. Wherever Kurt went, Joey was there. Audrey reached out and held my hands tightly, fluttering her eyes at me. "Please, I just need you to babysit the little brat, so I can have a chance to be alone with Kurt." I couldn't say no. Audrey had been there for me during my last breakup. This was nothing. Babysitting Joey? Easy. It only became a problem when Kurt started to look for me too. Audrey was practically bouncing with excitement when I showed up at Kit's apartment to pick up Joey. Unfortunately, he was not a happy camper. He pouted the entire ride on the way to the arcade. And when we arrived, all he'd say was, "I want my brother back." But I wasn't ready to give up on him. I held up my Dave and Buster's card and grinned. "All right, if you can beat me in any game, well, go home." Suddenly, he was alive, putting his full effort into each game. But what he didn't know was that I basically grew up in the arcade. "No way," he gasped after handing him another defeat in Guitar Hero. I patted his back. "Sorry, kid. You'll need another 10 years before you can beat me." He smiled at me, finally warming up. "I like you. People only play with me because they like my brother. Even the kids at school think him annoying." I paused. "Joey, you're not annoying," I told him. "No, it's okay. I like that you're at least honest." Audrey doesn't even pretend to like me. She just stares at Kurt and acts like I'm not around, he said in a calm voice. My heart broke for him. I bent down and looked him in the eye. "You're a cool little dude. And Audrey? She'll come around." But somehow we both knew it wasn't true. Before heading back home, we made a pact. Anytime he wanted to hang out, I'd be there. What I didn't expect was the next time I got called over, Kurt was there too. First, he showed up just to check in on things, until he stayed to hang out with us completely. Joey pouted at Kurt. "You're interrupting our gaming time." Kurt and I grinned at each other. He held his hands up apologizing. "Wow. I didn't think my own little brother would try to kick me out," he joked. "You must really be something." Kurt stared at me with a soft, romantic smile. When Joey saw my face turn red, he glared at Kurt and covered Kurt's face. No flirting with my playdate. We all burst into laughter. The three of us fell into something I didn't expect. Kurt would bring pizza. Joey would pick the movie. I'd make popcorn. Joey started falling asleep. I'd fall asleep on my shoulder halfway through whatever superhero film had chosen. And I'd fall asleep on Kurt's shoulder. He shook my shoulder gently after moving Joey to his bedroom. "Hey, can I drop you off?" That was our first time alone. I expected it to be awkward, but it wasn't. We spent most of the time talking about Joey. I'm seriously thankful. Ever since we lost our parents, Joey's been having a hard time. He reached over from the driver's seat and held my hand. Everything felt right until I remembered something crucial. Audrey. In the morning, Kurt texted me. "Would you want to get dinner together later?" Without Joey for once. Just? I stared at my phone, reading it over and over until Joey texted me too. "Please say yes to Kurt. If you date him, we can hang out all the time. Please, please, please." Before I could say yes, Audrey called me sobbing into the phone. I thought we were getting closer, but Kurt's been so distant lately. I don't know what I did wrong. He barely responds to my texts anymore. "Can you come with me to their house? I need to talk to him face to face." "I can pick you up in 10 minutes. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't even respond to any of them. I just knew whatever I chose, I was going to break someone's heart. I sat down. I sat on my bed. I sat on my bed, staring at my phone screen until the words blur together. Kurt's dinner invitation sits in one thread. Joey's all caps begging sits in another. And I can still hear Audrey's voice cracking through the phone asking me to come with her in 10 minutes. My thumb hovers over the keyboard, but I can't make it move. I open Audrey's thread first, because she's literally waiting for me right now, and type out that I can be ready in 20 minutes instead. The guilt hits as soon as I press send, because I need those extra 10 minutes to figure out what I'm going to say when we get to Kit's place. My phone buzzes immediately with Audrey's response saying she'll be there in 20 with a heart emoji. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I switch to Kit's thread and my fingers feel heavy as I type that I need a day to think about dinner because of some friend stuff happening. It sounds weak and vague, but I hit send anyway because I genuinely have no idea what the right answer is. His reply comes back fast, saying he understands and hopes everything's okay. I look at Joey's text last. His message still sitting there unopened with that little preview showing. Please say yes to Kurt in capital letters. I can't open it because seeing his excitement makes everything 10 times worse. When I already feel like I'm about to hurt everyone no matter what I do. My hands shake as I grab my jacket off the chair and shove my phone in my pocket. I head downstairs and wait by the front window, watching for Audrey's car and trying to breathe normally. Her blue sedan pulls up exactly 20 minutes later. And I can see through the windshield that her eyes look red and puffy, even though she's trying to look determined. I climb into the passenger seat, and she immediately starts talking about how Kit's been so distant lately, and she just needs to understand what happened. She keeps saying she thought they were getting closer, and she doesn't know what she did wrong. I make agreeing sounds and nod at the right times while my stomach twists itself into knots. Because I'm pretty sure I know exactly why he's been distant, and it's sitting right next to her. The drive to Kit's apartment feels like it takes forever, even though it's only 15 minutes. Audrey practices out loud what she wants to say to him, asking me if it sounds too desperate or too aggressive. I give answers like, it sounds fine, and just be honest, that don't commit me to anything. Every street we pass makes my chest feel tighter, because I know this is going to blow up badly, and I'm right in the middle of it. We pull into the parking lot of Kit's building, and Audrey puts the car in the park but doesn't get out right away. She takes these big, deep breaths like she's preparing for something huge and checks her face in the mirror. I follow her out of the car feeling like I'm walking toward a car crash that I could have stopped if I'd just been honest from the start. She walks up to the building entrance with fake confidence, and I trail behind her by a few steps. She rings the doorbell and stands up straighter, putting on this brave face while I stand slightly to the side. The door opens and Joey's face appears, and he lights up completely when he sees me standing there. Then his eyes shift to Audrey next to me, and his whole expression changes, his smile dropping away. He doesn't say hi or invite us in, just turns his head and calls for Kurt in this flat voice. I can see him reading the tension already, and it makes me feel even worse. Kurt appears behind Joey looking confused about why both of us are standing at the door, and I'm like, I don't know. We're sitting at his door together. Audrey jumps in immediately asking if they can talk privately for just a few minutes. Kit's eyes flick to me, and I see this uncomfortable recognition cross his face before he looks back at Audrey. He agrees, but his voice sounds reluctant, and he steps aside to let us in. Joey grabs my hand before I can follow them and pulls me toward the living room where his game console sits on the floor. He starts talking really fast about this new level he finally beat yesterday and showing me the controller setup. I try to focus on what he's saying, but I can hear Audrey and Kit's voices coming from the kitchen, muffled but clearly serious. I should be honest with everyone about what's happening, but I have no idea how to do that without destroying everything. Joey keeps talking about some boss fight he finally beat, but his voice sounds far away because I'm trying so hard to listen to what's happening in the kitchen. I catch pieces of Audrey's voice saying something about thinking they had something special, and Kurt responding in this calm, gentle tone that somehow makes it worse. Joey stops mid-sentence and looks at me with this expression that's way 2. Knowing for a 12-year-old. His shoulders go stiff. And he sets the controller down on the carpet instead of handing it to me like he was about to. We sit there in this awful silence. The muffled conversation from the other room and the quiet hum of the gaming console. I want to say something to Joey, but nothing comes out because what am I supposed to tell him when I can barely handle what's happening myself? He picks at the edge of the controller and won't look at me anymore. The minutes drag by feeling like hours, and I count the seconds in my head trying to distract myself from the guilt eating through my chest. Finally, I hear footsteps and Audrey appears in the living room doorway. Her eyes are red and puffy, but she's got this bright fake smile plastered on her face that makes my stomach hurt. Kurt follows behind her looking sorry and uncomfortable, and I can see him trying to figure out what's going on. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm sure he's trying to figure out what to say. Audrey announces in this too cheerful voice that we need to go now and thanks Kurt for his time. Joey's hand tightens around the controller so hard his knuckles turn white. And I notice, but can't do anything about it right now. I stand up too fast and feel dizzy for a second. Kurt's eyes find mine and there's this question in them. Like he's asking if I'm okay or maybe asking something else entirely. I can't deal with whatever he wants to know right now because Audrey is already heading toward the door and falling apart right in front of me. I give Joey this quick little wave that feels totally wrong for the situation and follow Audrey out into the hallway. The door closes behind us with this soft click that sounds way too final. Audrey walks fast toward the stairs, and I have to hurry to keep up with her. She doesn't say anything until we're in the car and she's gripping the steering wheel so tight her hands shake. Then she just breaks. The tears come all at once and she's sobbing these big gulping sobs while trying to talk at the same time. She tells me Kurt said he values her as a friend, but he's not interested in dating her, and she keeps asking what she did wrong. She wants to know why she's not good enough and what's wrong with her, and in making these agreeing. Sounds like I'm being supportive while guilt tears me apart from the inside. I reach over and pat her shoulder, but it feels fake even though I genuinely feel bad for her. She keeps crying and talking in circles about how she thought they were getting closer, and she doesn't understand what changed. I know exactly what changed, but I can't tell her that. So I just sit there being the worst friend in the world. The drive back to my house takes forever, even though it's only like 10 minutes. Audrey's still crying when she pulls up in front of my place. And I promise to call her later tonight after she's had some time to process everything. She nods and wipes her face with her sleeve, and I get out of the car feeling like I might throw up. I watch her drive away and then go inside. My legs feel weird, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get out of the car, but I'm weak climbing the stairs to my room. As soon as I'm through my bedroom door, I collapse face down on my bed and just lie there. I feel pulled in 3 different directions, with no good options anywhere. My phone buzzes in my pocket and I almost don't want to look at it, but I pull it out anyway. It's a text from Joey asking if I'm okay and saying Audrey seemed really upset. That makes me want to cry because even in the middle of all this mess, he's checking on me instead of being mad that I left so fast. I text back telling him I'm fine and we'll hang out soon. But I keep it short and vague because I don't know what else to say. I stare at the ceiling for a while, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do now. An hour goes by and my phone rings. I'm in a daze. I'm in a daze. I'm in a daze. My phone buzzes again. This time it's Kurt asking if we can talk when I have a chance. I stare at his message for like 10 minutes, just reading it over and over. Finally, I type back that I need a day or 2 to figure some things out. His response comes back right away saying he understands and he's not going anywhere. That should make me feel better, but it just makes everything more complicated. I spend the rest of the evening lying on my bed trying to do homework, but not actually getting anything done. My mom calls me down for dinner and I tell her I'm not hungry. She doesn't push it, which I'm grateful for. When I finally try to sleep that night, my brain won't shut off. I keep replaying every single moment of my life. I'm in a daze. I'm in a daze. I'm in a daze. I'm in a daze. From that first day at the arcade with Joey. The way he smiled when he finally started having fun. How Kurt looked at me during our movie nights. Every time Audrey talked about her crush on him, and I just nodded along like I wasn't developing feelings too. I know I like Kurt. But I also know Audrey's my best friend, and Joey needs things to be stable way more than I need a boyfriend. I barely sleep at all. And when my alarm goes off in the morning, I feel like I got hit by a truck. School is going to be terrible. I drag myself through getting ready and almost consider staying home, but that would just make things worse. When I get to the school, I'm jumpy and exhausted, and I feel like everyone can see right through me. Then I spot Audrey down the hallway, and she looks even worse than I feel. Her eyes are swollen, and she's wearing her hair down, which she only does when she's trying to hide her face. She sees me and walks over and pulls me into this tight hug. She thanks me for being there yesterday and says she doesn't know what she'd do without me as her friend. I hug her back and feel like the absolute worst person alive. Lunch is torture. I sit at our usual table and Audrey immediately starts going through every single interaction she's had with Kurt. She's trying to figure out where she misread the signals, and our other friends are all offering sympathy and suggestions. I stay quiet and push food around. Then someone mentions seeing Kurt talking to me at Joey's school event last week. My whole body goes cold. Audrey's expression does this weird shift, like something just clicked in her head. But then she forces this smile and says something about how nice it is that I'm helping with Joey. The smile doesn't reach her eyes, though, and I know she's starting to put pieces together. The rest of lunch drags on forever, and I barely touch my food. My hands feel shaky every time I pick up my fork. When the bell finally rings, I grab my stuff and head to my next class in a daze. The afternoon classes blur together because I can't focus on anything the teachers are saying. My notebook is full of things I can't focus on. My notebook fills up with random doodles instead of actual notes. After the final bell rings, I walk out of my last class and find my feet carrying me toward the counseling office without really deciding to go there. The hallway feels too bright and too loud with everyone rushing past me to get outside. I push through the main office doors and approach the front desk where a woman with reading glasses looks up at me. She asks if I need something, and I hear myself say, I want to talk to a counselor if anyone's available. She checks her computer screen and tells me Marcella Holland has an opening right now if I want to go in. I hesitate for maybe 3 seconds before nodding, and she points me toward a door down the hall. I knock twice. I knock twice. I knock twice. My voice tells me to come in. Marcella is way younger than I expected, maybe late 20s with her hair pulled back and a simple ponytail. She has this calm way of looking at me that doesn't feel like she's judging anything. She gestures to a chair across from her desk, and I sit down gripping my backpack straps. She asks what brings me in today, and I start talking about stress with balancing friend stuff in school. The words come out stiff and rehearsed like I'm reading from a script. She nods along and asks a few questions about my classes and my friends. I give vague answers that don't really mean anything. Then she asks if there's something specific that's been bothering me lately, and suddenly my voice tells me to come in. My throat gets tight. I try to keep talking about homework and tests, but my voice cracks. Before I can stop myself, I'm crying, and the whole story comes tumbling out about Audrey and Kurt and Joey. I grab tissues from the box on her desk and wipe my face, while explaining how I was supposed to babysit Joey so Audrey could get close to Kurt. But then I started having feelings too. The words keep coming faster. And I tell her about movie nights and Kurt asking me to dinner and Audrey crying on the phone. Marcella doesn't interrupt at all, just sits there listening with her hands folded on the desk. When I finally run out of words, she waits a few seconds before speaking. She asks me what I actually want versus what I think. The question catches me completely off guard because nobody else has asked me that. Everyone just assumes I should pick Audrey's feelings over mine because she's my best friend. I wipe my eyes again and admit I have feelings for Kurt that feel real and important. But am terrified of hurting Audrey, who's been there for me through everything. And am worried about Joey getting caught in the middle of adult drama when he already lost his parents. Marcella nods slowly and asks if I think my feelings for Kurt would just disappear if I ignore them. I shake my head because I know they won't. She points out that feelings don't work that way, and pretending they don't exist usually makes things worse. Marcella leans forward slightly and says, I need to have an honest conversation with Audrey before anything else happens. She explains that the longer I avoid it, the worse the betrayal will feel when Audrey inevitably finds out. And she will find out eventually because these things always come to light. I nod because I know she's right, even though the thought of that conversation makes me want to throw up. Marcella also points out that I can't control Audrey's feelings or her reaction. The only thing I can control is my own honesty and integrity. She asks if I want to be the kind of person who lies to their best friend, or the kind who tells hard truths even when it's scary. I tell her I want to be the kind of person who lies to their best friend. I tell her I want to be the kind of person who lies to their best friend. I tell her I want to be the kind of person who lies to their best friend. I tell her I want to be honest, but I don't know how to start that conversation. She suggests I just ask Audrey to meet up and tell her directly that I've developed feelings for Kurt. No long explanation or justification, just the simple truth, and then let Audrey respond however she needs to. I leave her office 20 minutes later feeling slightly less like I'm drowning. The panic is still there, but now there's also a clear path forward instead of just spinning in circles. I walk to my car in the parking lot and sit in the driver's seat for a few minutes. My phone sits in my lap and I stare at it knowing what I need to do. I open my text with Audrey and type out a message asking if she wants to hang out. My finger hovers over the send button for a solid minute. Then I close my eyes and hit send before I can change my mind. The message shows as delivered, and I put my phone in the cup holder and drive home. My hands grip the steering wheel too tight the whole way. That evening I'm trying to do homework in my room when my phone buzzes. I grab it expecting Audrey's response, but it's Joey instead. His text says Jackson's band is playing a small show Friday night and asks if I want to come. He mentions Kurt will be there too with 3 exclamation points. My stomach twists because I know I should say no. I should stay away until I figure things out with Audrey. But I also don't want to disappear. Joey's life when he's already dealing with enough. I type back that I'll be there and immediately feel guilty about it. My phone buzzes again with Joey's response full of happy emojis. Then Audrey texts back saying this weekend works for her and asks what I want to do. I tell her maybe just coffee and talking. She sends back a thumbs up. I put my phone face down on my desk and try to focus on my math homework, but the numbers blur together. Friday arrives way too fast. I spend the whole day at the school feeling jumpy and distracted. After my last class, I drive home and change clothes 3 times before settling on jeans and a plain shirt. The venue is this small place downtown that usually has local bands on weekends. I park a block away and walk over hearing music already coming from inside. The door guy checks my ID and waves me through. The space is dark and crowded with people standing around talking over the opening band. I scan the room looking for Joey and spot him near the stage. He sees me at the same time and his whole face lights up. He pushes through the crowd and grabs my hand, dragging me toward the stage area. Kurt is over by the side with his guitar talking to Jackson and the other band members. He looks up and sees us and waves. My chest does this warm thing when he smiles at me. Then the guilt crashes in right after. Because Audrey should be here instead of me. The opening band finishes and Jackson's band takes the stage. They start setting up their equipment and doing sound checks. Joey bounces on his feet next to me, clearly excited to see his brother perform. The first song starts and I'm surprised by how good they actually are. Jackson has a strong voice and the guitar parts are complex. Kurt plays with complete focus, his fingers moving across the strings without hesitation. The crowd around us starts moving to the music. Joey leans against my side during one of the slower songs. I put my arm around his shoulders without thinking about it in this moment. I realize how much Eve come to care about this kid that has nothing to do with me. With his brother Joey is funny and sweet, and he deserves people who stick around for him. Not because of Kurt, but because of who Joey is. The set ends and the crowd claps and cheers. Kurt and Jackson pack up their equipment while Joey and I wait near the stage. Jackson spots us and walks over with a huge grin. He says something about the show going well and then looks at me with this knowing expression. He mentions that Kurt talks about me all the time, then gives me a look that makes my face heat up. Before I can respond, Joey interrupts asking if we can all get pizza because he's starving. Kurt appears behind Jackson and agrees immediately. He catches my eye and smiles in a way that makes my stomach flip. Jackson says he needs to help pack up the van, but we should go ahead. We all head toward the exit together, and I try not to think about how this feels like a date, even though Joey is here as a buffer. The pizza place is busy and loud with people talking over each other. We grab a table in the back corner and order 2 large pizzas. Joey immediately launches into stories about his week at the school and some new game he's playing. He talks with his hands, gesturing wildly as he describes beating a hard level. Kurt and I sit across from each other and our eyes keep meeting over Joey's head. Every glance feels heavy with him, and I can't help but think about him for a second. Every glance feels heavy with him, and I can't help but think about him for a second. Things we're not saying. Jackson watches us with barely hidden amusement, like he's watching a show. After about 20 minutes, he suddenly announces he needs to head out, making up some excuse about an early morning. He leaves money for his share of the pizza and walks out. Now, it's just the 3 of us at the table. Joey doesn't seem to notice the shift, but I definitely do. Kurt's foot accidentally bumps mine under the table and neither of us moves away. The pizza gets cold while Joey talks about some gaming tournament at the school, and Kurt keeps glancing at me with a soft look that makes my chest feel tight. Eventually, Joey yawns and Kurt checks his phone, saying they should head home because it's getting late. We walk out to Kit's car and Joey climbs in the back seat, still talking about his day. The drive to Joey's place takes about 15 minutes, and I sit in the passenger seat watching streetlights pass by the window. Kurt drops Joey off at their apartment, and Joey waves goodbye to me before running inside. Then it's just the 2 of us, and Kurt pulls back onto the road heading toward my house. The silence feels heavy and different from earlier. I stare at my hands in my lap and Kurt clears his throat. He tells me he got my text about needing time and he wants me to know there's no pressure on anything. His voice sounds careful, like he's trying not to push. I look over at him and almost say everything right then about Audrey and the guilt and how confused I feel. But the words stick in my throat and I just thank him for being so understanding about the whole thing. He reaches over and squeezes my hand for a second before putting his hand back on the wheel. When we pull up to my house, I unbuckle my seatbelt and tell him goodnight. He says goodnight back and waits until I'm inside before driving away. I go straight to my room and flop onto my bed, staring at the ceiling. My phone sits on my nightstand and I grab it, opening a new text to Audrey. I start typing out this long message about how I've developed feelings for Kurt and I'm so sorry. And I never meant for any of this to happen. The words look pathetic on the screen and I keep deleting parts and rewriting them, trying to make it sound less awful. After 20 minutes, I have this whole paragraph explaining everything, but my finger hovers over the send button and I can't do it. I remember what Marcella said about being honest in person and how text messages can make things worse. I delete the entire draft and throw my phone across my bed tomorrow. I'll talk to Audrey face to face at the coffee shop like a real friend should. I set an alarm for early Saturday morning and try to sleep but mostly just stare at the dark ceiling thinking about how badly this could go. Saturday morning. My alarm goes off and my stomach immediately twists into knots. I get up and shower, then stand in front of my closet for way too long trying to pick an outfit. Everything feels wrong.